Well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to transition over and talk about the other thing that happened this week that had people going crazy. Daniel Penny was found not guilty for the manslaughter charge that he had against him for the death of Jordan Neely. Let's watch this clip of Jordan Neely's dad speaking about the verdict.
I just want to say, I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts. Really, really hurts. What are we going to do, people? What's going to happen to us now? I had enough of this. System is rigged. Come on, people. Let's do something about this.
Let's do something about it. Too often. We have Eric Garner's mother here.
Jenna, you're in New York, correct?
Yes. Yes, I am. Born and raised.
So can we describe to folks that may not live in New York what it's like riding on a subway?
Definitely. Weird. And I've been on subways my entire life, and especially at certain hours, it's definitely sketchy. I won't take the train after certain hours now. When I was younger, I would. I actually saw a man get murdered on a train about 6 years ago. It was like 3 a.m. That was horrifying. And yeah, you see there's obviously homeless people, there's obviously performers, there's people that are strictly business people. Of New York is such a mosh pit of, like, you can see someone dressed like a runway model, or you see someone in their sweatpants. So in that sense of, like, all the different types of jobs or demographics, and especially when it's very busy in the morning, you're really close to people, and it is. I don't feel like I don't always feel unsafe. I want to also say that, like, I don't just feel unsafe in general, but definitely after a certain hour, I'll feel a little bit more like I'm a little bit more heightened. And if you notice someone get on the train, you're always aware of who's on the train car with you. I will say that. If there's someone acting a little weird, I definitely tense up. I'm aware of it. I either move away or just, take my headphones out and make sure I can hear what's going on, because you never know. And I've seen things personally. So
Right. Nora, you're muted, but I'll say something. What I've seen from black conservatives on TikTok, and Kaizen is actually a person, he's been on the show. He did a video and people were sharing it. Is that I hear the black conservatives say, "Oh, why are they making this about race?" It immediately goes about race rather than what's going on. My personal opinion, I mean, I haven't seen the video, but I think the cops should handle it. Volker, has this been what you've been hearing, and how do you feel about it?
Yes, and I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion again. I think if he would have sat down and mind his business, he'd be at home today.
Thank you. Oh, wait. I'm surprised you said that, Vulgar.
if who would have sat, who are you talking about? Sorry.
The one that was killed.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No,
you
I
want
wasn't sure. I
me?
wasn't sure which
I was
one.
like, whoa, okay. I was confused. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, Vulgar, I'm not expecting that from you. What I was going to ask Jenna before when I was muted was the argument that a lot of these people are saying is, why didn't they go to the next train? What is your counter to that as a New Yorker living in New York? Do you think that that people should have went to the next train, or what do you think could have been happened to avoid Jordan Neely's passing? Is there anything?
Um, it seems like I've watched a lot on this, and it seems like the altercation kind of built momentum pretty quickly. So it doesn't seem like it was, like, within, it seemed like it was from one stop to another. Some stops could be 5 minutes in between, but most of them, they're like 3, yeah, I would say 3 to 7 minutes. So why didn't someone go to another train? Uh, I guess it could have depends on, you kind of don't move right away. You don't assume it's going to get that bad. You don't assume it's going to like, he's going to kill you or like you don't assume. But I also think sometimes when you move, it brings attention to you. I know I try to like just not look or stay very still. I won't move right away. I'll only like move if it like smells like terrible, or we tend to go to like one side of the car. I've seen that happen too. Like you leave them on that side and you'll like go to the other end of the train car. Um those are my like few understandings of maybe why people didn't all flee, but it seems like he was kind of in the middle and like going around or like throwing his jacket and then going around. So I don't know. And I
Well, how would you
saw
have moved safely if he's going back and forth? The car's not that big. How are you
no,
going to move? And I'm going to say a very unpopular opinion. This is not the first incident this guy's been in. He's been arrested numerous times. He's physically assaulted people. He's exposed himself inappropriately. So I'm sorry that this happened to him. I'm sorry, but I think that Mr. Penny saved a life that day because I heard he was threatening to kill a woman in the car, and that was what escalated it. So I mean, Gray, I'm sure you have another opinion.
No, that's really what I was touching on. The thing that I would pose is, of course, if someone's acting irrational and you gotta do what's best for the group, you have to do what's best for the group. Um, I don't think the person should have died, and I know it's a lot of good Samaritans. I know people personally that was trying to get away from the cops, and a good Samaritan stopped them. And like it, I would say for people, just normal people, don't try this at home because yeah, this time the perpetrator was harmed, but it could have been a possibility that the hero ended up getting harmed too. So that's why I would say let the police do their job.
But
What police,
sometimes you
bro?
got to step in though.
You're
Sometimes you got to
underground.
step
What
in.
police?
Yeah,
yeah.
I
you
feel
you
you.
like, you got to take. Sometimes you just got to man up, and that's what
Thank
we
you.
here. That's what we on Earth for, is to protect. So I see nothing wrong with it. It sounds when people say they should have went to another train. It sounds like when people say, why did they kill him? They should have shot him in the leg. Do you know, as a police, as an officer, you're trained to shoot for center mass. If you go to try to shoot for a leg or an arm or something like that, you risk killing other people from ricochets. So to say
Mm,
that they should have got off when it happened, it's too fast. He did what he's supposed to do. It's actually a crime to threaten somebody to kill somebody. So the thing is, he actually committed a crime. A citizen stepped in and protected people. I don't know why everything has to turn out to be race. It's like this big civil war right now.
yeah, it's
And
well,
anytime somebody do something, it's going to come back to race the accountability factor. I feel like there's half of America that just has no accountability about them. Everything is emotional.
I'm
They
a
Pretty
got an
much.
emotional
Democrat, but
filter on everything.
I would agree with you that BLM and civil rights group don't need to pick up every single issue.
Yeah, they're
Like,
making money off of it. That's how they got
Of
caught
course, it's
buying
a
them
grip.
exactly.
mansions and stuff.
Exactly.
There's money in emotion.
yeah, of course.
Hollywood and media recognizes there's money in emotion. If you get people emotional, you're gonna make money off of it.
Hmm.
If it's boring, it's nothing. It's just like you there's more white people killed by cops than blacks. But if you a person
Yep.
gets shot by a cop on TV, nobody's gonna watch it. But as soon as it's black and white, everybody's tuned in. Everybody want to go march. You give them a stimulus check and they're at home. Now they downtown blocking freeways and burning down buildings. This is like BLM and the rest of them are making money off of this.
I agree. I agree with you to an extent, but the numbers is more white people killed because it's more white people demographically, but it's inconsistently more black people based on population. So
True.
that's the issue.
What I'm saying is it happens, but you never see it on TV. You only see the blacks. That's what I tell you. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
said it happens, but we never see it on TV. Why? Because they're playing into our emotion. There's no money
Hmm.
in
Well,
white cops killing white people. There's money in white cops killing black people. And
facts.
the perception is everything. So when people are tuned into the tube, that's their only perception. Critically think because they don't have any other perception because they're watching TV, they're watching their phones, even algorithms. When you type into what your phone what you want to see, that's what you're going to get fed because the whole objective of the apps is to keep you on the app. So if that makes you emotional, they're going to keep feeding you black people getting killed by cops. They're not going to feed you white people getting killed by cops. So a lot of us need to start and think like that. We're being controlled emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we was on. I want to plug. We do lunch with the new party every 12 p.m. Monday through Friday on TikTok, and we were on there with someone named Indigenous Chicana. Vogue, I don't know if you were there, but she
No,
said that it was a Mexican guy or a Native American guy that was killed the same time as Sonia Massey, but she was all over the news. They weren't talking about it. So it's also certain minority groups that's upset that black people get the attention. So I mean, it's two sides to the coin. But
they
Jenna,
don't.
you were
They
about
don't
to say
cry enough
something.
about it.
I have
Yeah,
so much to say, but I
yeah.
think I mean it's so true. Like, especially New York is so liberal. Well, the city. The state of New York is pretty red, go red. But the city is extremely liberal. And I think my biggest thing, like his dad coming out, like, where were you when he was homeless? I like all of a sudden you're like, I miss my kid. Like, why weren't you helping him? And they also did not speak about how, yes, Daniel Penny put him in a chokehold. There was an African American that was helping hold him down too, actually. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like two of them. And then when the cops arrived, they did find a pulse. So that's like, and there's a whole video about that. They found a pulse. That's why, and they were still doing
Mm.
CPR, but they literally had a pulse on him. And the ME also came out and said that she was forced to finish the autopsy before it was done. Like she was rushed through it, and they were like pressured her to rule it a homicide. But he was on K2 and he had sickle cell anemia, and just being in that state, it was unclear that it was exactly from the chokehold. Did he die? I'm not going to like push that point too hard, but I just want to say that. And it is frustrating being, I used to be a performer. You guys, I literally just retired this past
Oh,
February. Yeah, I was a professional dancer for 10 years on Broadway. And that is,
nice.
thank you. Yeah, but it's the most liberal group of humans you could ever be
Mm-hmm.
a part of. And I would see this happen all the time, in terms of you can't say anything because it's racist. Like, and anything. You can't say anything. You can't wear certain costumes anymore, even though like shows are meant to be typecasted. You watch a movie and it's like
Right.
we need like, it's not because of your race. It's just we're telling a story. It's not, it just got weird. And that's also another reason why I left. But it's unfortunate because I think it takes away from how it was very courageous for someone to help. Because I know if like I'm a woman on a train and there's
Yeah.
been times where people have gotten in my face and no one does anything, and it is kind of
Nope.
scary too, that
Mm-hmm.
like there's men around and people just kind of they stay on their phone, like they don't see it's happening. So I applaud him. It's so unfortunate someone had to die. I don't like that at all, but it's scary when you're on the other side.
No, exactly. And I'm going to play this clip of Black Lives Matter. Let's hear them talk about the Black vigilantes and what they're calling for in a city near you.
Black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired.
Tired.
BLM, this is what I have to say to you. I made a short today. Where were you the last 4 years? It's funny, you're back now to call for the protests. Gray, what do you think about BLM? Do you think they're grifts? Do you think they're real? Do you think they help Black people?
I think they could have went about it a whole nother way. Because this is my issue with BLM. If you're saying that issue is police brutality, why isn't your nonprofit doing something with police, like getting better police officers, training, technology, whatever the case may be? It doesn't seem like there's a real solution. And I feel like for someone to come out and tell people to commit violence and put people in a predicament is horrific. Like, why are you putting people in this type of predicament to even say something like that when this is just between two guys? Whatever happened with them happened with them. They don't have nothing to do with everybody else. Let the government handle it keep other people out of it. What about you, Jenna?
Yeah, it seems like they come out when they find a very good story. Um, and I agree with the whole police thing because again, I'm biased to New York, but it's because the police in New York are hated. I've seen police
Mhm.
get like brutalized and attacked, and it's very unfortunate because then when you need them, what you need them, like you're looking for them. So
Mhm.
I agree. If like instead of defund the police, why isn't there other opportunities to inform us how they're not against us or teach them better ways of I don't know how to take someone down without killing them or neutralizing situations, and also maybe even just like telling people that they're not out to kill them. I think if you teach Black people that cops want to kill them, they're going to be on the defense. Like if you're teaching that to a child, they're going to think that people hate them or that white people hate them or that like it's sad because you're actually keeping then the African American culture down by that. You're actually dismantling their opportunity to like be successful because you're keeping them in this like everyone hates me, and it's not true. It's not true at all.
Vulgar?
You know what? I just had a creative idea. I'm about to do something on mine called the RIC, the Racial Industrial Complex, because I believe you have people like Ben Crump, Al Sharpton. It's a bunch of, I can't even think of their names right now. BLM. They all
Yep.
do that.
Oh,
They
well,
only
we're
show up.
talking about it tomorrow. It's called a grift. They're
Okay.
a bunch of grifters.
Yeah.
FBA, ADOS, yes, I'm calling them all out. It's all a grift to make Black people feel like everyone's against you in this country, but give us money and we'll figure out how to fix your problems. While they do nothing.
Yeah. Because the thing is, to me, and I'm gonna sound controversial when I say this. This goes back to the FBA stuff. We are creating our own civil war. Once the civil rights was passed, there is equality. Are there people outliers who act crazy? Yes, but they are the minority. We give them too much spotlight, too much focus. Things are equal now. We just have to stay within our means, start obeying these laws. Like I said, the guy should have just never been threatening people. I would have did the same thing, especially if my daughters were with me. There's no way he would have been doing any of that, and my daughters were with me. I would have neutralized that threat instant. Play. I don't play that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, all this is a grift. Just honestly, the man did what he was supposed to do. They let him go, which he should have been.
And they're calling out
Right?
for
Mm,
they're calling out. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But
it's
they're
okay. Go ahead.
BLM is calling out for now violence
Hmm.
on race. They're now basically
Hmm.
saying if you're a Black person, you should attack a white person.
Yes.
How is that not racist? So just
You
wanted.
know what? We're starting to sound like terrorist group.
Mhm.
We're sounding like some of these groups in other countries, except we don't have bombs and missiles and stuff launch at the United States. We just here complaining and mad, but we really sound like a terrorist group, like Al Qaeda or something. That's how Black people are starting to sound. FBA, all of them, are starting to sound like these groups. They just want to get together and go to war with white people.
Well,
I'm trying to get wealthy.
wait till our clips tomorrow, everyone. Be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. We're going to be talking about colorism. We're going to be talking about FBA and ADOS. Gray, what's your thoughts on it? Is BLM a terrorist group? What do you think about it? Do you think that's too extreme? Do you see the good in them?
I can't necessarily say I see the good of BLM since Candace Owens did that whole video and then showed that they was buying houses and all of these types of things. I mean, I'm a Democrat. I mean, I'm Black and I'm proud of for Black people. But at the same time, I mean, like, I think Black MAGA is more relevant right now than what BLM is doing. BLM, like, is just another nonprofit, another movement that they're trying to do with something. So I don't necessarily think it's a terrorist group. I think it's about making money and getting recognition.
Or gang. That's what gangs
Yeah.
do. A mob, organized crime. That's what it sounds like. They're like the mob.
for sure.
because that was their whole objective, is to make money. However, was it bootlegging or drugs on the street? Except this time it's racism and getting people to donate their hard-earned funds, life savings, and everything to this movement. Put themselves at risk. They end up in jail for emotional responses. I'm just tired of seeing
Hmm.
it.